Hello, Mrs. Evers. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for sending your email, and that's why I called you down here today to talk a little bit more about your student, Abby. She's a fifth grade student in your language arts class.
Yes.
Now, before we get into it, I just want to tell you a couple of things. Anything you say in this room will be confidential. It stays in here between us. However, if it involves the harm of anyone or anything, I do have to report it, just to let you know.
Okay.
And also, today we are going to talk about Abby. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I'm not doing that to annoy you. I'm not doing that to deflect questions by any means. All I want to do is get to the root of the problem. So by doing that, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, but I need you to be as specific as possible so we can really help Abby succeed in your classroom.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and just tell me about Abby and how everything's going right now.
Abby currently is failing my class, and she, of all the three things that I score, test, homework, and participation, she is far the lowest, percentage-wise. Right now, her star reading is 3.5, so that's roughly 2 grades below where she should be. So, is there anything you need to know more specific?
Yeah, no, that's great information. So right now, she's at a 3.5 in star
Yes.
reading. So she is about 2 grades below. We're about halfway through her fifth grade year.
Yes.
Okay, that's great information. So you said participation is by far her lowest.
Yes.
Can you just explain to me, what participation grade she does have right now?
She right now has a 50%.
A 50%.
Yes.
Okay, and you said it's her lowest. How's she doing on tests and homework?
Her test is about a 65% average, and then her homework about a 70%
Okay.
average.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. It seems like participation is, she's struggling with that.
Yes.
So she has the lowest grade in your class. She's
Yes.
struggling. She's failing. Now, I think for Abby to succeed, for her to be successful, we have to target really one thing, and it sounds like we should target participation. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. Yes.
All right, awesome. I think if we start with targeting that participation, maybe we kind of like building a snowman. We can start small and it just builds up and gets bigger, so we can really improve other areas as well. Okay, so just tell me about participation. What does it look like in your classroom?
Okay. Students can earn 5 points a day, and I know that seems like a lot, but I also feel that not all kids are good test takers, and not all like from homework they do well. So it's just an easy way for kids to earn points in my class. So they get 5 points every day, and it's following directions and staying on task, engaged in class activity, and not needing to be redirected.
Okay, so that's what a perfect day
That
of
is a
participation.
perfect day.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's what we want to have. We want to
Yes.
work towards perfection. What is she at currently right now?
Well, she doesn't verbalize any answers if she's called on, and I have to repeat multi-step directions to her all the time.
Okay.
And she's still, even after I explain them multiple times, she doesn't follow them. She reads or doodles every chance she gets and has to be redirected to group activity or independent activity. During group or independent work, she only can remain focused, I would maybe say roughly about 5 minutes before she starts reading her book or anything like that.
Okay, so it's about 5 minutes before she's off task.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So you say that she does not verbalize her answers. She doesn't answer any questions when she's called on. She doesn't follow multi-step directions by any means. She reads or doodles, is not paying attention.
Right.
So it sounds like participation is definitely an issue.
Yes.
Now, could you put these into specific terms? I know, I was a teacher at 1.2, so I understand that you have a lot going on, many different kids.
Yes.
Are you able to put in like a percentage how often she displays those behaviors, or is that something that you'd like me to come in and observe?
Actually, I think coming and observing would be a good idea.
All right, I would definitely be happy to do that. So we can talk about that later on.
Okay.
What would you say is maybe like an antecedent to her behavior when she's not participating? She's doing all these things. Do you notice anything that happens before?
No.
No?
I don't.
Okay, and that's all right. That's perfectly fine, because that's something that I could come in and maybe I'll catch something when I observe. Okay. What about consequences for not behaving?
She doesn't get the points.
Okay, she doesn't get the points. Perfect. So what is she currently? So you say 50%. So
Yeah.
she's getting about 2.5 points a day. So
Right.
2.5 out of 5. What would you like for her to see?
I would like it's probably a 4.
A 4? Okay.
Yeah, I think 4 is pretty obtainable.
So we would go from about 50% to 80% then.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So 50% to 80%. That's great. And when would you like to see this happen? I'm very big into SMART goals, making those time-bound goals. So we want her to improve by 30%. That's fantastic. But when do we want that done by?
I would love for it to be by the end of the 9 weeks.
Okay.
Since we're starting a new 9 weeks, but I mean, if I can get it by the end of the year, that would be great.
Okay. That's fantastic. I think that's a great goal to work towards. If we have an end in mind, I think we can definitely work towards that. So that's fantastic.
Ew.
Okay. All right. So currently, how are her classmates doing with participation?
They're at about a 90%. Like I said, it's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as participation goes, your class as a whole is at 90%,
Yes.
and Abby herself, she's at a 50.
Yes.
So there's a 40% difference.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So there's a big difference there. So our goal is to get her to improve up to an 80%. We want her to earn 4 out of 5 points a day by verbalizing her answers, by following multi-step directions, by cutting down on the reading and doodling, and
Yes.
really just paying attention more as a whole. Okay, fantastic. So we want all this to happen by the end of the third 9 weeks. So that's something that we can definitely work towards. All right. What? All right, so we talked about observations, and
Yes.
I will come in and observe. And I think by the next time we meet, I will observe, and I'll see how she's doing in class and seeing what's going on with participation.
Okay.
And I will also talk to her other teachers to see if they're seeing anything similar. And then I think it would be beneficial if I talk to Abby as well.
Okay.
So prior to the next meeting, I will definitely take care of those things.
Okay.
I will make sure those get done. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
No? All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
I'll
you.
send you an email. Would next Friday work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll send you an email for next Friday, and we can review everything that we've talked about.
Okay.
All
Great.
right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.